I'm Liz Johnson, Cornerstone Events Planning Manager here at Juneteenth, and this is
Jacob Willoughby.
We're here together at Juneteenth, enjoying the festivity, learning about Juneteenth.
Yeah, we're having a blast here. It's really fun.
Yes.
I love it.
I want to thank Stefan for reaching out to me to be a part of this event. It's a great event, it's a great turnout, and I don't think we could have gotten a better day, really. So my name is Chuck Mascolino. I'm a Joliet police officer, obviously. I'm part of our community policing unit. Community policing is a big part of policing today, especially with everything that's been going on in the last couple of years. Everybody's been kind of leaning on community policing as the next step in policing. So
it's good to be around everybody, get to see all the different clients since everybody's been locked up so long. It feels good to see and to touch and to be around people.
Hi. I'm Chad.
Hi, Chad.
I'm a white American male talking to you at a Juneteenth event. I don't know how qualified I am for this, but Stefan asked me to talk about some of the disparities we see in healthcare based on race. Okay, Stefan, no problem. I can cover all of that for you. So I have to go back to somebody slightly more qualified than me. Former Surgeon General Jerome Adams, a black man, was in Chicago last year because he wanted to see the first dose of COVID vaccine given in Chicago. And he was asked the question about racial disparities in the medical community. And he said, well, before I answer that question, we first have to acknowledge that this comes from reality. This comes from a real place. The Tuskegee syphilis trials and other things that have happened really did happen, and they were dark days in medicine and dark days in our country. And so we have to acknowledge that first before we go anywhere else with this conversation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Allison Hurd. I'm the Director of Institutional Diversity and Title IX Coordinator at the University of St. Francis, and I'm excited to be here. And the thing is, whenever I get to a group celebration and I hear some music going on where I can do their bus stop and slide to the left and the right, I know I'm in the right place. So I'm here just to let you know how much the University of St. Francis supports you. And as I speak, I'm also looking at my colleague who is from JJC. She's the Chief Diversity Officer, Eskertina Irvin. And that is why we are here. When we talk about Juneteenth celebrations, part of it is not just the celebration, but it is the education and awareness around that celebration. We have a table that's set up to talk about admissions, right? I was a first-generation college student. I well know the opportunities that are available to a person when they pursue their education. I well know many of the things that we don't know or we don't understand if we are not made aware of it. And so in that light, education and awareness is extremely important. And that is why we have a table set up. Because oftentimes you can look at the media, you can look at social media, you have people that make you feel like you're less than, that you are not worthy, of certain positions or certain areas in society. And so as a university, we want to let you know how much we support you and the work that you do. And especially today, there is no other place where I would want to be, because today, not only as we listen to the mayor who talks about history being made as sort of like the first Joliet celebration, right? At the university, we had a little Juneteenth celebration. I could ease our way in there, but it was online and it was virtual because we were working from home. And so I proudly compliment you guys on what you have done today.
My name is Dion. I'm here live at Cornerstone Agency. I am an athlete and I play basketball, softball, and bocce, and I'm a working man. I work for Walmart on 59 on Plainfield, and I'm just here for the event to have a good time with all my friends and all the coworkers who are at Cornerstone.
I am here as the Vaccine Equity Manager for the Will County Health Department, and I'm here because there are a lot of community leaders, health department leadership, board members that recognize that this is important. You heard about the numbers nationally, right, from Chad? Locally, for Will County, that number for our Latinx community is about 13% that are vaccinated. And for our black community here in Will County, that number is about 8%. The reality is that the mistrust of government, mistrust of medicine is taking a toll. And when we're talking about communities of color, we know that there's little wiggle room, right? Because communities of color are also disproportionately impacted. That means we have more cases of diabetes, more cases of high blood pressure, more cases of respiratory illnesses that all make us more likely to have pretty bad outcomes if we contract COVID. We have been working with a family out of Bolingbrook who lost their 15-year-old daughter to COVID-19. Perfectly healthy basketball player, softball player, and her story is on our website. Her parents are taking a tragedy, and they're trying to bring about awareness that this does not discriminate. So please, take it seriously. Encourage your family members, encourage your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues, people in the grocery store, you're at the barbershop, beauty salon. Take it seriously. Be safe, get vaccinated, share the love, encourage each other, and celebrate our uniqueness, our diversity.
Hi, my name is Shantina Pruitt from Black Road. This event was absolutely amazing. I think it's really important for people to understand the importance of diversity and that everyone was created as equal. This is a place where we all came together and everyone acknowledged Juneteenth.
This is our first Juneteenth event here at Cornerstone. Wonderful event. Can we all give Steph and Hale a round of applause for putting this together? Thank you, Steph. We really appreciate your efforts with this. Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom. More specifically, it's the celebration of the emancipation of those who were enslaved in our country over 150 years ago. Even though President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, the practice of slavery still existed in pockets of our country for several more years. It wasn't until June 19th, 1865, that the last group of enslaved people down in Galveston, Texas, were told they were officially free Americans. As you can imagine, an incredible celebration broke out that day, and the celebrations have continued on June 19th, ever since, spreading across our country. We know, however, that the story doesn't really end there. Slavery may have finally shed its legal status in the United States with the ratification of the 13th Amendment later that year. But institutional racism found new paths to take. By the 1950s and 60s, many brave men and women said enough. They marched, they protested, and they voted, all in the hopes of making a more just and equitable nation. Sometimes you really can't move forward until you've taken time to look back. That's why we're here today. To stop on our journey to celebrate where we have been, to talk about where we want to be. Because it's important to see how far you've come in order to see how far you still need to go. And our country still has a long way to go. Last summer, after the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many others, former President Obama made this observation. Juneteenth has never been a celebration of victory or an acceptance of the way things are. It's a celebration of progress. It's an affirmation that despite the most painful parts of our history, change is possible. And there's still much more work to do. There is much more work to do, and Cornerstone is committing to put in that work. We strive to ensure that our mission and core values ring true for everybody. The first of our core values and beliefs is social justice, because everyone deserves access, equity, human rights, and participation in the community. With this in mind, I'm pleased to announce that last week at our Board of Directors meeting, our board unanimously voted to officially recognize Juneteenth as an agency holiday. I want to thank everyone who's advocated for that and helped this, and to increase the awareness of this important landmark in our nation's history. For many of us, Juneteenth is an important opportunity to listen, learn, and get involved. I hope you take the opportunity to get involved too. There are many great activities to participate in today. I hope you go in and put your hand in to help end racism with the canvas we have in there. We want to learn about ways to grow and make our communities stronger, safer, and more inclusive for everyone. I want to thank everybody who made today a reality. And before I conclude, I want us to take a pledge to help in those efforts of ending racism. So if I could have the speakers that spoke today join me up at the podium here. I'd also want a special couple guests, if you don't mind, to join me. Our board chair is with us today, Mike Paone, if you'd come up and join us, Mike. Jen Howard, president of the chamber, if you wouldn't mind joining. And Mario Lambert. I saw Mario here somewhere. Where's Mario? Mario is our diversity consultant who's been with us on our journey. If you'd join us too, Mario, if you wouldn't mind. Is Officer Boscolino still here? Is he just left. Okay, all right. Today I'm asking us to do our part. I'm going to read this commitment in a minute here, and I'm going to ask, when I'm done reading it, if everyone would help affirm that commitment that we're all going to take today. So if everyone could raise their right hand, if you could do this with me. I pledge to support Cornerstone's mission to provide progressive, comprehensive services for people with disabilities, promoting choice, dignity, and the opportunity to live and work in the community, and supporting our core values of social justice, progressiveness, excellence, compassion, dignity and respect, honesty, and unity. I also pledge to end systemic racism and create a space where you matter. Can everyone respond in the affirmative with "you matter"? Give me a little more. That's right, all of you matter today. Again, thank you for being here. We really appreciate this. This is a wonderful Juneteenth event. Everybody have a wonderful day. Stephen, for a few words.
Wow. Y'all can't see it, but I'm crying under these glasses. I was sharing with my coworker Liz. I say, wow, this is really happening. This is actually a thing at Cornerstone now. And it started with just me having an ambitious attitude, me just wanting to change things, me just wanting to feel like I had a space where I could be seen. And so I just thank the people up here for making that happen, the people in the audience who always make that happen, to send me emails, send me text messages on days I don't feel like getting up, on days I just don't know what I'm doing sometimes. And you guys get me back on track, and so I just want to say thank you for that. I would just be remiss if I did not read the actual proclamation that was made that set those enslaved people free. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equity of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection here therefore existing between them becomes that of employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect any military posts, and they will not be supported in any idleness, either these or elsewhere, by order of Major General Gardner. 2.5 years after the rest of the United States were free, the last group of enslaved people received news that they were equal, that they were seen by the law, and that they mattered.
My name is Latoya Horton with Cornerstone, and today was our first Juneteenth event. It was beautiful, memorable, and I'm glad everybody came here to connect as one. And this was a beautiful experience. Thank you, Cornerstone.